Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Nishit Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Supreme Court upholds death penalty for all four accused in Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. GST Council fixes 28% tax rate on lottery, rationalizes GST rate on oven and non-oven bags to 18%. Campaigning for the fifth and final phase of Jharkhand Assembly elections ends this evening, polling on Friday. Shashi, Tharoor and Nand, Kishore, Acharya amongst writers to receive Sahitya Akademi Awards 2019. Cold wave conditions affect normal life in Uttrakhand and Jammu Kashmir, and India in a commanding position in Vishakhapatnam in second ODI against the West Indies. The Supreme Court today upheld the death sentence of the four accused in Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case, rejecting the plea of convict Akshay Kumar Singh seeking review of its 2017 judgment. A three-judge bench headed by Justice R. Bhanumati said they find no ground for review of the verdict. The bench said the contentions raised by the convict were already considered by the top court in the main judgment. Earlier, opposing the review plea, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta told the court that the convict does not deserve any leniency. He said there are certain crimes where humanity cries and this case is one of them. Mr. Mehta added that convicts in the case are making concerted efforts to delay the inevitable and the law must take its own course soon. The convict's lawyer sought 3 weeks' time to file a mercy petition before the President. However, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta reminded the court that 1 week's time is prescribed under the law and filing for such a petition before the President. The government is setting up over 1,000 fast-track special courts for expeditious trial and disposal of rape cases, including that of minors. The scheme will cost 767.25 crore rupees to the centre and states. The Ministry of Law and Justice has formulated a scheme for setting up of the fast-track courts for expeditious trial and disposal of rape cases and cases under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences (POCSO) Act. The Supreme Court today decided to examine the constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act but refused to stay its operation. It issued notice to the centre on pleas seeking stay on the operation of the law as well as on the main petition challenging the constitutional validity of the legislation. The bench fixes the pleas, including those filed by the Indian Union Muslim League and Congress leader Jairam Ramesh, for hearing on the 22nd of January next year. The Supreme Court today asked the centre to consider a plea for publicizing aims, objectives and benefits of the Citizenship Amendment Act (CAA). A bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Bobde took note of BJP leader and lawyer Ashwini Upadhyay's plea. He wanted a direction to the centre and the authorities to spread awareness among citizens about Citizenship Amendment Act. The plea also sought a direction to authorities to take opposite steps to weed out fake news being circulated about the Act. The Delhi High Court today agreed to hear 2 PILs moved on the recent violence at Jamia Millia Islamia University during protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act (CAA). Both the petitions were mentioned before a bench of Chief Justice D.N. Patel and Justice Rekha Palli, which allowed them to be listed for hearing tomorrow. The petitions were moved in the Delhi High Court after the Supreme Court said yesterday that such petitions relating to violence be moved in the High Court's concern. Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has said no Indian citizen will be robbed of his or her citizenship with enactment of Citizenship Amendment Act. Addressing Minorities Day program in New Delhi today, he clarified that the Act solely aims at granting citizenship and in no way it will take away the citizenship. The minister cautioned that elements with vested interests are trying to unleash fear psychosis among the public by doing divisive politics on communal grounds. He appealed to the public to defeat such elements by maintaining peace and harmony.
समाज के इतने हिस्से को गुमराह करने की कोशिश कर रही हैं, उन्हें हमें डिफीट देना है और इस काम के लिए अल्पसंख्यक आयोग तो कर ही रहा है, ये समाज को भी इस बात को करना होगा। आंदोलन में जो बच्चे हैं लेकिन उनको इश्यू नहीं पता है, बहुत से पूछते हैं क्यों कर रहे हो, कि हमें तो भगाने वाले हैं इसलिए हम कर रहे हैं। कौन तुम्हें भगा देगा और क्यों भगा देगा? ऐसा नहीं है कि नागरिकता आपकी कोई खत्म कर सकता है।
Mr. Naqvi said NDA government has taken various steps for welfare and empowerment of the minorities. West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar has asserted that Citizenship Amendment Act CAA will not affect any citizen of the country. Addressing newsmen at Raj Bhavan in Kolkata this afternoon, Mr. Dhankar said people who are opposing the act are either misguided or doing it out of ignorance. Governor's reaction came after the state Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's statement that the agitation of the ruling Trinamool Congress will continue till both the NRC and CAA are withdrawn. The Goods and Services Tax GST Council today approved to increase the rate of lotteries. A single GST rate of 28% will be levied on state-run and private lotteries. Briefing media in New Delhi after conclusion of the meeting of Council, Revenue Secretary Ajay Bhushan Pandey said the Council has decided to rationalize GST rate on oven and non-oven bags to 18%. The rates on lottery and oven and non-oven bags will be effective from the 1st of March next year. The Revenue Secretary says states made representations on revenue augmentation, rate structure and compensation needs of states. The GST Council also decided to exempt upfront amount payable for long-term lease of industrial and financial infrastructure plots by an entity having 20% or more ownership of central or state government. Presently, the exemption is available to an entity having 50% or more ownership. It will be effective from the 1st of next month. The GST Council also recommended constitution of grievance redressal committees in zonal and state levels to address grievances of specific and general nature of taxpayers. The Council also approved various amendments to laws which will be introduced in Budget 2020. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman held the pre-budget consultations with finance ministers of states and union territories in New Delhi today. Ms. Sitharaman elucidated the central government's philosophy of cooperative federalism and steps taken by it to bolster the growth of the economy. She welcomed the suggestions made by the state and also assured them that their suggestions will be examined and suitably considered. During the meeting, state governments welcomed the opportunity to present their views and express their suggestions on growth, investment, resource requirement and fiscal policy. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Campaigning for the fifth and the final phase of Assembly elections in Jharkhand ended today. 16 constituencies spread over Sahibganj, Pakur, Dumka, Jamtara, Devghar and Godda districts of Santhal Pargana region will go to polls in this phase on Friday. In 5 assembly segments of Borio, Barhait, Litipara, Maheshpur and Sikaripara, campaigning ended at 3 p.m. due to security reasons. In the remaining 11 seats, campaigning concluded at 5 p.m. AIR correspondent reports that star campaigners of political parties including BJP, Congress, JMM, Jharkhand Vikas Morcha and AJSU made last-ditch efforts to woo the voters. The counting of votes will be held on the 23rd of this month. President Ramnath Kovind will preside over the second meeting of the Organizing Committee on the celebrations for the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi in New Delhi tomorrow. Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa, who is arriving in the national capital tomorrow on a working visit, will also attend the meeting of the Organizing Committee. Government is commemorating the 150th birth anniversary of the father of the nation at national and international level to propagate his message. The National Committee, headed by President Ramnath Kovind, has been constituted for this purpose. The committee has 9 international members, including 2 former Secretaries General of the United Nations, Mr. Kofi Annan and Mr. Ban Ki-moon. Speaking to All India Radio News, senior Gandhian Sudarshan Iyengar said Mahatma Gandhi's life was a message in itself for people to follow.
Gandhi's central message was not for academics, was not for intellectuals. Gandhi's lifetime message, when he said that my life is my message, which meant living the life the way he did is the message, and that had to be sort of followed, not copied.
The full interview can be heard on Rajdhani channel immediately after the bulletin. Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Tharoor Gehlot launched Braille version of the book Exam Warriors written by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. The Braille version in English and Hindi has been printed by Rajasthan Netrahin Kalyan Sangh in Jaipur. Speaking after launching the book, Mr. Gehlot said the book will surely benefit visually impaired students who face mental stress during examinations.
निश्चित रूप से ये दृष्टिबाधित लोगों के लिए, विशेषकर छात्र छात्राओं के लिए जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं और परीक्षा देते हैं, उनके लाभदायक होगी। उनको इसके कारण सीखने को मिलेगा, समझने को मिलेगा, उनका मनोबल बढ़ेगा और अच्छे ढंग से परीक्षा देंगे और सफलता प्राप्त करेंगे।
The book contains a detailed description of animated picture and various yoga asanas, which will let students imagine the pictorial graphics with ease. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's interaction with students during an event, Pariksha Pe Charcha 2020, is proposed to be held at Talkatora Stadium, New Delhi, in the third week of next month. Sahitya Akademi today announced its annual awards for the year 2019 in 23 languages. In Hindi, Dr. Nand Kishore Acharya has been awarded for his poetry Chilite Hue Apno Ko. Dr. Shashi Tharoor gets award in English for his non-fiction An Era of Darkness, while Shafi Kidwai gets the award for his biography in Urdu Sawane-e Sir Sayyid Ek Bazdeed. Penna Madhusudan bags it for his poetry Pragya Chak Shusham in Sanskrit. Cold wave has further intensified in North India. In Uttrakhand, normal life has been affected following the prevailing cold wave conditions. As per reports, road, rail and air services have been also affected because of dense fog in the plains of the state. Few flights were cancelled and few others were late at Dehradun airport because of poor visibility. According to Met Department, cold conditions along with moderate to dense fog is likely to persist in plains. In Jammu and Kashmir, the cold wave continues in Kashmir region after the latest spell of rain and snowfall in the region last week. A report.
Amid chill and slippery road condition leading to traffic jam, most of the stranded vehicles from Kazigund on Srinagar-Jammu highway were facilitated by the traffic and beacon personnel to move towards Jammu today afternoon. Traffic officials said concerted efforts are underway to remove accumulated snow and do away with the slippery road condition due to frozen frost on both sides of Dawah Tunnel to ensure two-way traffic on the national highway. Tariq Rathar, AIR News, Srinagar.
In Himachal Pradesh, the weather remained dry and cold today as Manali, Sundarnagar, Bhuntar, Kelong and Kalpa shivered at sub-zero temperatures, with the weatherman predicting heavy rain and snowfall in the next 2 to 3 days. In Rajasthan, Sikar was the coldest place in the state today at 3.5 degrees Celsius. The weather office said cold conditions are expected to remain the same during the next 24 hours. The maximum and the minimum temperatures dropped by several notches across Punjab and Haryana today, with Chandigarh recording the coldest day of the season. Delhi today recorded the coldest day of the season, with the temperature settling much below normal. According to Met Department, the maximum temperature was recorded at 18 degrees Celsius, which is 5 notches below normal. Domestic stocks today closed with gains of around 0.5% amid mixed cues from global markets. Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange settled 206 points up to settle at record high at 41,559. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also climbed 57 points to end with a fresh closing high at 12,222. India have won the second ODI cricket match, defeating West Indies by 107 runs at Vishakhapatnam today. The Caribbeans were all out for 280, chasing India's target of 388 runs. Kuldeep Yadav bagged a hat-trick by taking 3 wickets earlier, with Rohit Sharma's blistering 159 runs and electric contribution of 102 by Lokesh Rahul. Indians created a huge 388-run chasing challenge for the West Indies. The Caribbeans have taken a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series after registering a comfortable 8-wicket win over the hosts in the first ODI at Chennai on Sunday. The third and the final match will be played in Cuttack on the 22nd of this month. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. The Supreme Court upholds the death penalty for all the 4 accused in Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. The GST Council fixes 28% tax rate on lottery, rationalizes the GST rate on oven and non-oven bags to 18%. Campaigning for the 5th and the final phase of Jharkhand Assembly elections ends this evening. Polling on Friday. Shashi, Tharoor and Nand Acharya amongst the writers to receive Sahitya Akademi Awards 2019. Cold wave conditions affect normal life in Uttrakhand and Jammu and Kashmir. And India beat the West Indies by 107 runs in the second ODI at Vishakhapatnam. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.